morning, ladies and gentlemen. I'm meadsy69. Welcome back to the channel. Today we are taking another peek at the Leopard 1. Yes, it is still my favorite tank in the game, and it has been for the last 5 years, maybe 6 years. It's just a fantastic tank, and what I like about the tank is it's so difficult to play compared to things like the T62, the T22, the STB, even the Patton and the E50M. They've all got something fantastic about it, and that's armor. They have some armor in one way or another, whether it'll be the hull or the turret. They've got some armor, whereas the Leopard 1 doesn't have nothing whatsoever. But that's what I like, because it makes you think about what you're gonna do in the battlefield. So today we're gonna have a full in-depth review on the tank. That's something I haven't actually done on this tank. I've looked at it, I've looked at the stats, but I just want to show you how I play it and how I would recommend to play the tank. So the hit points is 1961. As you can see, the turret there only 52 millimeters and the hull is only 70. So yeah, no armor whatsoever. However, you can still get the troll bounce if you're lucky. DPM 3668, which is the highest DPM medium tank in tier 10. And that was thanks to a buff wargaming done about a year or so ago. It was an ever so slight buff, didn't really change the tank, but that slight buff just pushed the DPM above the T62s and the Russians basically. Reload time is a 5.7 second reload. Now the penetration I think is still good, 255, and your heat is 300. Of course, if you want to run it with the calibrated shells, you can get that up to 330 millimeters, which is pretty goddamn good. So the alpha is 350, on your heat is 300, HE is on 400. Now the aim time is 2.8 and the dispersion 0.272. Fantastic, and it does have a nice 9 degrees of gun depression with a lovely 65 kilometers per hour speed. Now moving over to the equipment, I want to show you the equipment because it's something I've never shown on many of my tanks, but seeing as I love the tank so much, I want to give it a proper review. Now of course I run the ram up because I like DPM, and I think the penetration is enough. Of course that is up to you if you want to run the rammer or if you want to run calibrated shells. If you do run calibrated shells, obviously your DPM will go down almost 257, and it's a half a second reload off your reload, so it's pretty good, to be honest. That's why I run the rammer, because I think the penetration is enough. With your 300 millimeters on your heat, I do think that is enough. I use improved modules, and of course I used improved optics as well, and I've got the gun laying drive, which again, I suppose this or the supercharge is totally up to you, but I just prefer the aim and time, because 2.8 is actually pretty good. Of course, no point running the enhanced armor because you got none, so just the extra hit points, only 111 extra hit points, but it's something. Improved control I use as well, and now this one, the V stabs, I use the V stabs because the aim time is usually 3.1, but with this you have 2.8, whereas if you use the refined gun, you've already got a great amount of gun dispersion, you've already got great accuracy, you don't need any more. So go with your V stabs, just the aim time even better, so your aim time sort of matches your dispersion in a way. And these last two, again, these last two really is totally up to you, and that's what I run. Provisions, I use both chocolates. Again, it gets the view range, the DPM, reload, aim time, dispersion, everything like that, and of course then I use the engine power. And consumables, again, this is my usual setup really, is the adrenaline and both repair kits. You need both repair kits. No point using the engine power boost because it's already a pretty quick tank anyway. So yeah, that's my setup. Not only I think the tank is fantastic, I think it looks absolutely fantastic as well. So moving on, we're just going to have a couple of battles. I've got 3 here, but we're only going to show you 2. So the thing with the tank, the thing with the tank, and what I love about the tank, because it's got no armor, and I say this every single time, you have to think about what you're going to do. You can't just roll up, go in a hold down position like you can in things like the T62 or the Patton, because you've got no armor. At least the T62's turret, the 121B, 121, everything like that, even the E50M, they've all got armor, and with this you can get shots off like that. That was just a quick snapshot into the AMX-50B, and you can get that quite regularly. Now I'm deciding to go in town with my with my heavy tanks here. Yes, I do have the medium tanks, but and the TDs, and I've got the Yo at the back, but they're not really moving, and I don't really want to come up against 3 mediums and a light tank, and we don't even know where the tank destroyer is at the moment. So again, another nice shot there, 547 damage done to the KPF. So at the moment I can already see that there are 2 heavy tanks this side of the map, and considering these are the only 2 here, I'm kind of guessing that no one is here to support them. So I've already caught base B, not a problem. I just want to go here and help the 60 TP. Unfortunately, he does manage to get that shot. I thought I hit that fire button pretty quickly, but he does get that shot off. And as you can see, it's lucky that I didn't go to the left side, because yeah, they are completely overrunning that side of the map. And now because of that, we are able to push this 50B. So we've already cleared 1 heavy, and now we've also got the 50B here. I don't really want to take any shots from him, so I'm just waiting for our VK90 to go forward, take the shot, bring his hit points down, and then I can go forward. And with the accuracy, as I said, you can hit almost anything with this tank. It really is a fantastic tank with the accuracy, the aim time, and it's just a fun tank to play. Not only is it a great tank, but it's a fun tank to play as well. You can get around the map really quickly. You can snapshot, you can out DPM anything that you come against. Now, how do I play it? Obviously, it's a difficult one to play, because it all depends on what your team is doing and what the enemy team are doing. I don't like to be front line, but yes, you have the DPM. You're going to out DPM anything that comes your way. But if you come up against T62's objects and even some other medium tanks, then you can run the risk of getting bounces in them tanks. If you bounce 1 shot against the T62 that's face hugging, or an object 140 or a T22, anything like that, if you just YOLO into them and try to out DPM them, you will come off worse. Even though you've got more DPM, you will come off worse, and that's solely because they've got armor, and if they are face hugging you, they're always going to get a troll bounce one way or another. There's always going to be a troll bounce in there, and if you bounce once, all of a sudden they've got more DPM than you, because the DPM is really nothing in it. It's not even 100 difference between you and the Russian tanks. So I wouldn't just YOLO and try to outplay them. What I would usually do is just sort of sit back a little bit, because you have the accuracy, you have that aim time, so you don't need to be up close and personal. You can get these shots from across the map if you wish, and that's what I love about the tank. Is it's good in every single way apart from the armor. But because it has no armor, it makes it good, because you need to think about what you're going to do and where you're going to go, and you need to think about what targets that you want to take out, and that is why I love the tank. Tanks like the T62, the T22s, yes, they are good tanks, excuse me, but you don't really need to think too much when you're playing these tanks. You can just roll up in a ditch, use your turret and get bounces, and then just poke them, and with your 5.3 second reloads, you can just sort of out DPM anything that comes your way, but you don't really need to think. Whereas this tank, you need to think. You have to use your brain. If you just rush in, like now, yes, I can see tanks to the right side, and I can see the 121B here, but is he on his own? I don't know. That's why so far I'm not rushing in. I just want to be patient until I know I'm comfortable that I think this guy is on his own. And now that there are quite a few tanks that are spotted on the right, I think it's now time to move move ahead. And of course, again, I'm just going to sit here. I do have the building for protection, but I can already see he's not a great player. But this is what I mean about the troll bounces. I get that troll bounce. Luckily for me, he has missed a couple of shots, and I've only taken one shot from this guy, and he misses another shot there. But now I do have the help of our T62. So we've got we got 7,000 DPM between us. We can just literally out DPM anything that comes our way. But of course, I want to get behind the enemy. We are winning on supremacy points, we're winning on tanks, and my next target, of course, is going to be this Death Star. Not so worried about the Foch right now. I want to take care of that out of that Death Star, because he can HE me. He can kill me with one shot. He can shoot me in the face with HE and do 1,625 damage. So yeah, it's pick your targets wisely. And this game, I'm actually going to suffer, and I actually make a mistake because I'm not picking my tanks wisely, and I'm just not playing how I should be. But this is how I like to play. I'm not front line at all. I'm sort of getting behind these teams. I'm getting behind these tanks and just coming in from behind and then just ripping them apart from behind. And again, I'm then going to use my mobility to get around. And this Foch, yes, I do hit the wall. Okay, you didn't see that, but so did the Foch. The Foch shot the wall. And again, we're just going to go for that bottom plate. The Foch has got really good armor. That's probably going to be one of my next tanks that I review, because it's been a long time since I've reviewed the Foch, and it's a fantastic tank. So now we are on a 4 versus 3. This Foch is a one shot, so we're just going to load up the heat, get the bottom plate, and it's just this 60 TP left alive. However, he is still full hit points. Now, if I do it correctly, if I play correctly, I can get a lot of damage here. But this is where I start to push, thinking that he's not a great player. I was wrong. He'd done the exact thing that I did not want him to do. And look at all of this damage, 2,400 damage there, and I mess it up completely. Absolutely mess it up, because I underestimated him. I really underestimated this guy, and that is a lot of damage. I could have finished with well over 6,000 damage this game, but because I messed up and pushed, I shouldn't have pushed. I should have just been where our 60 TP is now, and I should have just stayed there. But no, I pushed, and because I'm driving the Leopard, I paid the price. And that is what I love about this tank. Let me know your thoughts on the Leopard 1. Do you love the tank as much as me? Do you struggle to play the tank? Because a lot of people struggle to play the tank. I mean, the average win rate is 53%. It's the same win rate as a T62. You got 32%, 32% survival rate. The T62 is 33%. So the average damage is 2,000, and so is the T62. So the stat wise, it's all there. It's the same, but people still struggle. I don't panic when I come up against the Leopard 1. I think it's an easy target. So let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Hope you enjoy the video. I'm Meadsy. I'll catch you soon. Bye bye.
With